There's a number of things I need to do, and in the process, writing book 2 has been a roller coaster. Because I made this.
Hello? We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.
Hi you guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are starting a bookish vlog for the week, and I am so excited to do this because these videos are so chill and they just put me in the best headspace, so I can't wait to get started on this video. For the reading plans, we have quite a mix of stuff, to be honest. If you saw my reading vlog, you'll know that I made it halfway through Saving 6. It would be awesome if I could finish this, but I'm not going to put too much pressure on myself. We also have The Shroud of Evil, which is a library book that I picked up. I am very interested in continuing reading this because this set a really cool tone at the start of this book when I started reading it in the car that day, so I am excited to read this. I'm also going to get through this comic book, X-Men: The Skinning of Souls. I think this just sounds awesome. I really like comic books. I don't own any, but the ones I do get, I like to get from the library. This is just a fun, silly little read, and I can't wait to get into this. Today I did a little bit of writing. I reached just over my 1,000-word mark, and I am very happy about that. Writing has been quite a roller coaster doing book number 2 of the Heir of Andromeda series. My first book, The Heir of Andromeda, is coming out this year sometime. When, I'm not entirely sure. I need to save a little bit of money. I need to buy an ISBN. I need to get a sample printed of the book so that I'm comfortable with what I'm releasing into the world. There's a number of things I need to do, and in the process, writing book 2 has been a roller coaster. Every book is just different, and that is what I am getting my head around. You're not going to have the same experience writing book 1 as you did writing book 2, and I am learning this, and I am having to do a lot of talking to myself and reassuring myself that I am a good writer. So it's been quite a roller coaster, I'm not going to lie to you guys, but I'm excited to see what the end of the book will look like, because that is always a milestone when you reach the end of the book and you know how the overall picture looks. It's brilliant because then you can go back and edit it and make the book perfect, make the points that really hit the reader, and that's what I love. Today I don't have many reading plans. I have a friend coming over in a couple hours, and in the meantime I want to do a little bit of walking on the treadmill, so my reading will probably start tomorrow. I'm struggling with congestion right now. I'm really congested. I've woken up the last couple days with just a blocked nose and I don't know what is going on. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling. I'm going to do what I need to do for the day, and I will see you guys when we officially start this bookish vlog. Hey you guys, I just finished doing my little workout for the day. I'm not really going to be doing much for the rest of the day. Like I said, I did have plans to hang out with someone, but sadly they had to cancel. Ugh, it sucks so bad. I'm going to stick with the plans I have in my head because I hate changing plans. It really stresses me out. But I'm going to get pizza tonight, which I'm really happy about that. And tomorrow we will continue with some bookish stuff. I just wanted to give you a little update with how I'm doing. I've been on my social medias on like Twitter and checking my YouTube. Feel free to follow me on Twitter, by the way, because I'm very active over there. And I know that some of you have actually come from Twitter, which I absolutely love. You're all amazing. So yeah, follow me on Twitter. It's still Atlas J Lively, or call me Atlas. You'll be able to find me, no problem. Yeah, that's it. I've just been thinking about like my progress with Saving 6 by Chloe Walsh, and the feel for this book is very different from Binding and Keeping 13 because Joey is such a character. He is very much has his own head screwed on. But at the same time he's going through some really difficult troubles, and you can't help but feel bad for him. And at the same time he's a little bit jaded because some of his behavior is a bit self-destructive. So because of that, I'm having a difficult time thinking about picking it back up, because I don't like that self-sabotaging kind of behaviour. It actually stresses me out, especially with the problems that I am dealing with mentally. But I am going to read it because I don't think it's going to damage like my own mental health for reading it. It's just something that I am aware of. I really like Aoife. I think she is really sweet, and again, she is quite a character. It's the kind of person that if I met them in real life, I don't know if I'd be friends with them, to be entirely honest, but at the same time I like her. Like, does that make any sense? I don't know. But yeah, I like Joey and I like Aoife, and I can't wait for them to end up together. So because of that, I am excited to finish the book and to get into more of the Shroud of Evil, because that had a really good feel to it at the start of that book. So I'm excited to pick that back up. I also have a read of a book that is it's a book that hasn't been released yet, and it's on Readsy, so I can't really talk about that. Yeah, there's a book that I'm going to be reading from Readsy. There is a book that's coming out in April, so I can't really talk about that, but I might end up doing a full review of that on my YouTube channel. You might see that. So there's that. And those are my plans for tomorrow. I think I'm going to start by reading The Skinning of Souls by X-Men. It's quite a title, isn't it? It's like, wow. So I'm interested to see how that goes down. And because it's a comic book, it shouldn't take me too long to get through that. So I want to read that tomorrow, and then I'm going to be reading my book from Readsy, Discovery. And then for the rest of the week, we will continue with my bookish plans. Good morning, you guys. I am halfway through my comic book. We have something like 100 pages left. This is taking longer than I thought it would, but I'm still going to finish it in this video. There is a lot of dialogue that refers to other comic books, so I am struggling to follow along with this more than I thought, but I am still enjoying it because there are parts that I do understand and that I do find really interesting. Obviously we're following X-Men, which is really awesome. I really like the X-Men. I love the X-Men movies. There is like a couple that I haven't seen, which I would love to watch. I might even watch some X-Men movies in this vlog, who knows. But what I really wanted to show you was my jumper, because I made this. I made this with my own two hands. Like, how awesome is that? And it's turned out way better than I thought it would. It's very, very warm, almost too warm to be wearing inside, but nevertheless, I love it. I'm sorry about my hair, it's just not playing game right now. So what I'm gonna do for this morning is I'm going to finish reading my comic book, and then I'm going to probably read a little bit more of The Shroud of Evil and hopefully do a little bit of writing. We will see. And I also really want to do some annotating in this video and some bullet journaling, so we will see what I fancy doing next after I have finished reading The Skinning of Souls. Dun dun dun. I've just finished X-Men Skinning of Souls. It was very good. There were parts where I did struggle to understand exactly what was going on because I haven't really read a comic book before. I've read a graphic novel before, but not a comic book, so it took me a second to understand what text I was supposed to read next. And the way it's written is very old-fashioned. You can tell that it was written from a long time ago by the language, so that also took me a minute to understand. And sometimes there was just random fight scenes. I do really like comic books though, so I would say this is probably like a 3.9 star. It wasn't quite a 4 star, but it was good. It was just a fun time. Also, what is it with blind men in comic books being attractive to women? Like, there's Daredevil and now there's Cyclops. Like, there's got to be other ones as well. It's just, I find that so funny that that's a trait in the comic books. Anyway, it was good. I don't really have too much to say on it. For the rest of the day, I think I might do a little bit of writing, do some reading, possibly some bullet journaling and annotating. We'll just see where the day takes us. So I just got this stuff in the post and I am in the middle of doing my annotating, and I'm kind of tempted to stop here and do some makeup. So I'm kind of thinking I'm going to do that. But I also want to continue with this. Oh, I don't know what to do. And that's why I picked up the camera, because I don't really know what to do. I think I need to turn this camera off for a second and have a think, but I wanted to include you in my dilemma because what are friends for? I just did this makeup look. If you want to see the full thing, it should be on my TikTok by now. It is the next day. It is now Friday. I can't remember the last time I spoke with you guys, but I do know that yesterday I did some reading, I finished X-Men, and I also did some writing, and I reached my 1,000-word mark. Today, I don't know if I'm going to do writing today. I just don't know if I feel like it. I do know that I want to read like as much as I can of The Shroud of Evil, so we'll see how I get on with that. I also have my cup of coffee right here. I was just catching up on some YouTube. I was watching Rachel Catherine, I was watching Ellen Catherine, I think, and yeah, I watched Sarah Caroli yesterday. I love my booktube girlies. With my writing, I am still very much wrestling in my head with book number 2. Honestly, I have been really taken back by how difficult book 2 has been. Not exactly the writing part, but more like the mental struggle that I have gone through. Because book 2 is so different from book 1, there are a number of problems that I need to fix, which are very different from the first book. With the first book, considering it's a series, the majority of it was world building, continuity problems, fixing continuity problems. But with this book, I have to fix continuity problems, build on the plot that already exists whilst building other plot points at the same time it's rather complicated, and we are still following multiple perspectives, so it is taking me a minute to get my head around it. But that's how I know I'm learning. That's what I need to remind myself. That's how I know I'm growing as a writer and how I'm doing it right. The thing is that because this is so new for me, in my head I'm coming up with like reasons to doubt myself, which is silly because I am a good writer. I wrote a very good book for my first book, and I know that you guys are gonna love it. I think the majority of you will love it. Some people, science fiction isn't for you, which I completely understand, but I feel like my book is the perfect bridge from fantasy romance to science fiction for those of you that haven't really dipped your toe into science fiction before. I feel like it's the perfect introduction to science fiction. If I can follow it and enjoy it, then I'm sure you can. It's basically what I'm saying. I'm sure a load of you are going to really enjoy it. Anyway, the question is, do I do writing today, or do I take the day off and just do some reading? I think I'm going to watch some YouTube and contemplate on what to do. I probably will do a little bit of writing because it will make me feel better knowing that I've done like at least a little bit. So yeah, I think that's what we'll do. So I've just finished my writing. I'm sorry I didn't film like the typing bit, but I have written, how many words have I written? 1,167 words. I'm very happy with that. Sometimes I can go over the 2,000 mark point, but the thing is that I quite like my 1,000 mark barrier because that just makes it's a lot easier for me to then start where I left off, because I still have like some creativity in the tank, if that makes sense. So I'm really happy with what I've just put down on paper, more happy than I have been in the past, so I'm really glad about that. And I am going to watch a little bit more YouTube, and then we're going to do some more reading of The Shroud of Evil, and I will have an update for you when I've read like a decent amount of that. You guys, I am sat here on the floor. Honestly, this was just like the best angle I could use for doing my makeup. I'm going to just get ready with you and chat a little bit. Hope that's okay. I have recently been getting back into makeup and I have been really loving it. If you follow me on TikTok, you'll know that I posted a makeup tutorial not long ago and I absolutely loved doing that. It was so much fun. I used to do makeup tutorials years ago, but I ended up deleting my account and I regret it because I could have been making money from that at this point. But you know what, it's fine. I was called Tropical Jade, if you remember me. I doubt you will, but it was fun while it lasted, and I deleted my account for personal reasons. I just felt like it was taking over my life in a way that I wasn't ready for it. But I think if I'd have just held on to my account rather than deleting it, things would have been a lot better. But you know what, it's fine. We reminisce and we move on. Kind of tempted to do a red lip today. That might be fun, do a red lip. I'm using the Conceal and Define foundation from Makeup Revolution, and I also have a darker shade to use as a contour. I love this foundation. I've used it for years. It's affordable and I just have no regrets with this foundation. What I do not like though is my eyebrows, and I can't get tweezers. I lost my tweezers. They might well be somewhere, but for now I don't have any, and so I can't pluck my eyebrows. So I'm sorry about that. I did a little bit of writing this morning and it went very well. I did about 500 words, which wasn't much, but I passed my little 1,000 mark barrier, made up to, I think, 83,000 words, which is quite a lot. It's a long book, so I do really love doing my makeup. I hope you don't mind me adding this as part of the video, just because it's another part of my life that I don't really show. I know it's not bookish, but there's no rules when it comes to this kind of stuff. Now that I have decided to get back to writing each day, my anxiety with writing has definitely gone down a lot, which I am really grateful for. When it comes to planning what I'm going to write next, like the next section when I go to continue my book, I'm not really explaining that right. So like I plan each chapter as it comes, so then the flow of the story feels correct to me. I can't plan the entire thing out. Like I can't plan an entire book. I know roughly what's going to happen at the end and how it's going to happen, but I need wiggle room for my creativity and for the book to flow correctly. So what I do is I plan each chapter at a time. So I've just finished chapter 13 and I'm going on to chapter 14. So I did a lot of planning today rather than writing, but I still did 500 words, you know, which is still pretty good. I'm going to now use my Revolution translucent powder. I don't have a sponge for setting, so I just use a brush. Oh, I just realised I haven't done concealer. Let's do concealer first. This is what I'm using, the IRL Filter Finish. I think that looks okay. I'm sorry the lighting isn't very good. I do have like a professional light that I could use, but I just wanted to use natural light for this part of the video. I would love to be able to do more makeup tutorials, but I don't think YouTube is the space for me to do it. I do think about doing it on like TikTok because that would be really fun, but I just don't feel like my book place is the space for it, if that makes sense. like I want to keep my book stuff separate from makeup because it's very much not the same thing. But I know like Kathleen Lights, she talks about books occasionally on her channel, which is really nice, but her channel is mainly makeup focused, and I don't want my TikTok to get confused. I want to be able to do makeup and I want to be able to do books, but I don't feel like they're supposed to be in the same place. So I don't really know what to do about that. If you have any thoughts, then let me know. I just don't feel like putting makeup tutorials and then posting about books on my TikTok will flow right for the algorithm. So I would love to know what you think about that because I really don't have a clue. I'm just going to do my eyebrows really quick. And now I'm going to use my Revolution palette. This is it just says Makeup Revolution on it. Ultra Sculpt and Contour Ultra Fair. That's what I'm using. This bronzer is really pigmented. It's such a pretty shade as well, and the highlighter is really good too. I don't really know what I want to do for the rest of the day, to be entirely honest with you. I feel like I'm at a bit of a conundrum with my books because the Shroud of Evil that I was reading, that is coming very slowly, like so slowly that I don't want to read it. But what I did start the other day was finishing The Last Word by Taylor Adams. I did DNF it last year. I felt like it just wasn't for me, and it wasn't for me at that time. But now we're at the point where basically the majority of the scary stuff is over and I only have like 2 hours left of the audiobook. So I'm going to finish The Last Word, and then I also bought with a Audible credit the next book in A Court of Thorns and Roses ACOTAR trilogy, A Court of Mist and Fury. So I'm thinking I'm going to read that, which is very exciting. I think that looks a lot better. Now the blush on this is so pretty. I think I might use another blush as well. Yeah, I've got this. It's my Heartbreaker one in Powerful. So I'm thinking I'm going to use that. Just going to tidy up a little bit here because I'm getting confused with where stuff is. Now I don't want to do too much on the eyes because I am going to do a red lip. Sorry if the angle's changed, you just fell, I'm sorry. So this was the palette I was going to show you. I thought of doing like a little eye lip with this. It's very pretty, but I do want to use a red lip today, so I'm thinking I will use a lighter shade in this. Maybe the taupe at the bottom here, or maybe one of the peachy tones. I think I'm going to use that taupe that I just showed you. I think that will do. I'm not going to do any more on the eyes because I want the lips to be balanced. I mean, doing an eye look that's this dark is probably like too much for some people, but I'm comfortable with it. So I'm just going to use the 5D Lash Pow Mascara from Makeup Revolution. In case you're wondering, Makeup Revolution is my favourite brand. I love their makeup so much and I use it all of the time. Right, I think that is enough mascara. Now I'm just going to use my Barry M lip liner. It doesn't really have like a shade number, but I do know it's a Barry M lip liner. And now I'm going to use this brand, 3CE. I don't really know the actual name of it. Stylander Soft Lip Lacquer in the shade Null Set. I love this liquid lipstick. It's so wearable and comfortable. And that is it. I cannot feel my left leg at all because I've been sat on the floor. What I'm going to do now is I am going to listen to more of The Last Word by Taylor Adams. I will finish it and I will let you know my thoughts on that. And then I will start A Court of Mist and Fury, which is very exciting. Those are the books that I am interested in reading right now. And if I force myself to read a book that is not, I'm not feeling it, then I'm just going to go into a book slump. So I hope you don't mind. I think I am very much a mood reader, but you know what? It's fine. I also want to read a little bit more of Saving Six. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do for the rest of the day. I don't know how long this video is at this point. I don't know when I should be finishing it. I did just post a video choosing my March TBR, so you should see all of that. Oh gosh, the pins and needles are so bad. That hurts so bad. I've never had pins and needles hurt like that before. Oh my goodness, right. I'm gonna get up off the floor and I'm gonna read. So I have finished The Last Word by Taylor Adams. It was honestly better than I expected it to be. The ending was very good and there's a lot of twists and turns. Very clever the way that the author concluded the book and tied up loose ends, so I did really enjoy that. I would say I'd maybe rate it honestly like a 3.75, I would say, which is higher than what I thought. Like, I honestly thought I'd be rating it 2-star. I think that's probably what I did rate it to start with when I DNF'd the book, but right now it's sitting at a 3.5, maybe a 3, not a 3.5, 3.75, maybe a 3-star, but I really liked the way Taylor Adams finished the book. There was a lot left, there was a lot that was answered, and there were no loose ends, and I just thought it was really clever and I enjoyed it. I might even read some of his other books, I'm not sure. But anyway, I just started A Court of Mist and Fury and I love it. I am so glad to be back in this universe, and I know that there are some spice scenes that I will be skipping, which is fine, but all in all I am happy to be back in this universe because it's just so different from unlike anything else that's on the market. I don't think it's overrated. I think, like, I'm not entirely sure if I would recommend the series to everybody, but for me, I really like it and I am enjoying it so far, but be wary that there are spice scenes, and if that's not your thing then you will want to skip them like I will be doing, so there's that. But I am really excited to be back listening to Feyre's point of view and I love it. It's like there was no gap between A Court of Thorns and Roses and this one, which is what I really like in books. So yeah, I am going to continue listening to that and playing Animal Crossing right here, and yeah, all in all we'll have a great time. I have decided that I'm going to DNF Shroud of Evil because this is just taking far too long to get through. I mean, why on earth does the text need to be this small? Why does it need to be that small? Why can't you just make the text bigger and then therefore make it an easier reading experience? I got up to page 38 and it took me ages to get through that. I reckon if the page was bigger, I probably would have been halfway through it at this point. I'm going to DNF it and I'm going to keep on reading A Court of Mist and Fury because that's what I'm feeling right now. That's what's coming easy to me. And then I'm going to read Mansfield Park, which I am very excited about. Just going to put the Shroud of Evil on my shelf where I put my finished books. Finished my comic book, Shroud of Evil, DNF. Gonna leave those there. I am really enjoying A Court of Mist and Fury and I am learning so much from Sarah J Maas' writing style. It is unbelievably powerful. Every single sentence is just so mesmerizing, and it really pulls you into the story. And I have learned that there's a lot I need to improve on as a writer, which is fine, but it's also like, wow, it's kind of intimidating. But nevertheless, that's what learning is all about. And I feel like because I have read this type of book, not this type of book, because I have read something so great, there's an ability for me to be able to build on that myself. Does that make sense? Like, I can learn from what I read. So it's going very well, and I am really enjoying the story. We are at the point now where Feyre has realised that Tamlin is not right for her, and that makes sense. Spoiler alert, by the way. She's not necessarily falling in love with Rhysand, but she's just been introduced to the City of Starlight, and it sounds beautiful, and I'm really loving the dynamic that she's creating with new friendships. So I feel like Feyre is such a relatable character, which again is something really clever that Sarah J Maas has managed to do, because so many people relate to Feyre, and she's just an ordinary girl, and I think that's probably why she's so relatable. But anyway, I'm going to stop talking, and I'm going to continue listening to A Court of Mist and Fury. I am about 3 hours into the audiobook. I have 10 hours left, but I am loving it so far, and it's all I want to do right now. Hello you guys, I know I look a bit of a mess. I've just jumped out the shower. I'm going to end the vlog here because I've realised that I need to edit this before the weekend because I've got some plans, so I'm going to be busy. I'm not going to be able to edit it over the weekend. So I hope you've enjoyed this so far. If you are new here and you like this style of content, then please subscribe. I would love to see you again. Diet Coke right here, which I'm going to open for you guys. Oh yeah, that's satisfying. I love Diet Coke so much. Right, anyway, I'm gonna end this vlog. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!